Welcome to USA Convo. This is a network that connects learners with independent tutors who are from the United States. You are about to watch a lesson sample from a tutor. Please take a moment to read the following information. You can pause the video if needed. Now, let's watch the lesson.
Hello and welcome to this lecture based on the lesson, How Potato Chips Are Made. My name is Teacher George, and I want to thank you for joining me today. So let's go ahead and learn. Let's go ahead and use this time to practice English so that way as far as we could improve and get better. But before we do, let's talk a little bit more about the lesson. So just to explain a little bit about the philosophy here at USA Convo, we don't do drills. We don't focus so much on grammar. We don't do quizzes or anything too structured, too formal. Really, the assignments, the activities, the tasks are really just focused on helping you practice speaking English, and it's really what it's all about. Practice, right? The more you practice, the more opportunity you have to get better and sound a little bit more comfortable and be confident in your ability to speak English. And because of that, a lot of the basics and foundations and the concepts, we want to believe that that was learned and elsewhere, maybe in a different video, maybe in a different institution like a school, or maybe you learned it from a friend, wherever the case may be. Again, we're not going to be focusing on those basics, explanations, because as far as again we want to use this time to focus on giving you the opportunity to speak, right? Whether you're in, we want you to listen, we want you to talk. And that is really what's going to lead you to eventually becoming excellent and speaking English. So, with that said, while we are going to be practicing English, we're also going to do a little bit of fun as well, because we are going to be talking about how potato chips are made. And so so really the category where it falls into is going to be manufacturing. The target audience are those that are in A2, that's pre-intermediate. If you're not in A2, that's still okay. Whether you're in A1 or you're in level B or level C, it's perfectly fine. You can still benefit from watching this video and following along with us. But what you'll notice is that the words and the concepts and the sentences that we use are more targeted for A2, which is pre-intermediate. But feel free to follow along and practice with us as well. As far as as far as time goes, we estimate it to be about 15 minutes long. It could be a little bit shorter, it could be a little bit longer. Really, a lot of it's based on you, because on each of these slides, I'm going to be asking you to pause the video. Of course, I will give you a little bit of time to kind of think out loud and be able to perform some of the tasks that I ask you to do. But this may be a little bit too fast for some, and that's okay. So in that instance, I want to let you know that it's a great idea for you to pause the video. So that way, as far as you can take the time to think, to kind of figure things out, reflect, and so forth. So, because at the end of the day, we want you to, again, practice English and do it correctly and comfortably and accurately. So that way, as far as you can feel more confident when you do. The way we're going to be practicing English is through vocabulary. A lot of these vocabularies you may have learned previously, and that's great. We're going to be going ahead and using them. Some of these vocabularies words are you may know about them or counter them at the right now. They're going to be brand new to you. And that's fine too. What I encourage you to do in that situation is if you come across a word that you don't know, pause the video, take a look around, and see see what you explore on the internet, and to kind of figure out what the process or the meaning is, or the definition of it's going to be. So again, and as we do that, the grammar is really going to be based on present, simple, and passive, right? So that's the grammar. It's going to be present tense grammar. On occasion, it's going to be simple grammar, and then it's going to be passive grammar. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. But before we do, I think right now is a good time for us to do a warm up. And the way we're going to do a warm up is the following right here. I'm going to say one word. I'm going to say that word the first time. I'm going to say it at a normal speed. The second time I say that word is going to be at a much slower speed. Uh, Afterwards, I will give you a few seconds of silence so you can say the word out loud. Okay. Now, if you need more time, remember you can pause the video, you can rewind, you can fast forward. Okay, you have full control of the direction and of the speed through that player. So so definitely use it. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Again, first word is regular speed. Second word is going to be a much slower speed. Then you're going to have a few seconds to practice saying that word out loud. Slice, slice, cut, cut, wash, wash, peel, peel, fry, fry, cook, cook, boil, boil, bake, bake. All right, good job. For those of you that want to retry again, you can rewind the video to the starting point, and you can re-practice the warm-up if you like. But let's go ahead for the purpose of this lesson. Let's go ahead and begin to the next activity, and that is going to be is looking at the process. And we know it's a process because we see the plus sign and equal, right? And in between those, we see as far as some items on there. All right, so when you add the items and then these equation symbols, we know that it's ultimately leading to something. What I want you to do is take a few moments to figure out what is it and what do we call each of these things in English. So I'll give you a few seconds, but if you need more time, pause the video. And so that way, as far as you can have all the time in the world to kind of figure it out. So again, I'll give you a few seconds and then we'll reveal the answer. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the answer now. The first item that we have here is called potatoes. Potatoes. The second item that we have is oil. Oil. And the third item that we have right here is potato chips. Potato chips. All right. So when you have potatoes and you add the oil, it's gonna lead to or equals to potato chips. All right, good job. So let's go on to the next activity, which is matching. What we have right here, we have a word, right? And it also has an image on there as well, visual, to kind of help you be able to understand what it is, right? So we have the word that's on my left, and then we have the meaning, all right? But the thing is, though, that these meetings, they're not in order and they're not gonna always match or align in a straight line. They're mixed. So your job is to match the words and find the proper meaning to it on the right side. Okay, so I will give you a few seconds to complete this task. If again, if you need more time, pause the video, and when you're ready, we can begin. All right, so I'll give you a few seconds so that way as far as we can go ahead and complete this task. Now that you already completed the activity, let's take a look at the answer. All right, so here it is. Take a few moments to look at it and ask yourself as far as if you were able to match the word correctly to the right meaning. Okay, and let's go ahead and use this time to review the word, say that word out loud with me, and then let's also we'll do the same thing for the meeting to make sure that we match that we did it correctly. I will say the word first time, and then I will say it a second time. But on the second time, I want you to follow along with me. So again, the first time I'll say it by myself. The second time, I want you to follow along. So we have knife. That's knife. And where is the meaning of this knife? It is a tool, usually with a metal blade and a handle, used for cutting and spreading food. Now repeat with me. A tool, usually with a metal blade and a handle, used for cutting and spreading food. Okay. Now we have this word right here, which is to cut. Repeat with me. To cut. And it leads us to make something smaller, shorter, lower. Let's repeat that meaning out loud. To make something smaller, shorter, lower. The next word is to fry. To fry. All right. What does that mean? It means to cook food in hot oil or fat. Now repeat with me. To cook food in hot oil or fat. The next word is to peel. Again, that is to peel. And what is the right meaning for this word? To remove the skin of fruit and vegetables. Repeat after me. To remove the skin of fruits and vegetables. All right. Let's go on to the next word, which is to rinse. And it's going to lead us to use water to clean the soap or dirt from something. Let's repeat it again and follow along. To use water to clean the soap or dirt from something. The next word is to slice. There we go, which is to cut something into thin, flat pieces. So let's repeat that word one more time. To cut something into thin, flat pieces. All right. And the last word is a conveyor belt. A conveyor belt. And what is the proper meaning for this? It is a moving line that is used for transporting objects from one place to another. Repeat after me. A moving line that is used for transporting objects from one place to another. Okay, great. Now let's go on to the next activity, which is fill in the blanks. What you have right here is that these gaps or blanks are what you need to complete. What we have right now, as far as that, we're giving you a little bit of help, and you want to, which is in this help is between the parentheses. So you'll see it here, and you'll see it here. So if it's a word next to these gaps, that's a hint. That's your tip. What you want to do is find the right the right the right tense in completing the sentence. Okay. I will give you a few seconds to answer all of these questions. However, I want to give you another reminder that if you need more time, pause the video, take the time to think, and then afterwards, as far as you complete each of these sentences, also pr- uh, practice out loud, saying it out loud to yourself, right? Repeat them out loud to yourself. During the review, we'll practice saying it together. But I want you to first try on your own and see how close you are to getting this right on your own. So I'll give you a few seconds, and then we'll review the answers. Okay, we are ready to begin reviewing the answers now, and let's take a look. There they are. Take this time to look at them and see how, and ask yourself, were you close to, were you close? Well, first I should say, did you answer each of these questions or each of these sentences correctly? Did you pick the right tense? If maybe you were close, or maybe you were just completely very, very wrong. Either way, it's fine. That's the purpose of class, is to learn, right? To learn, do things better, do things, and always do things more, right? Of it as well, better and more. So, with that said, yeah, take a time to look at it, ask yourself, reflect if how your performance was it when you were on your own compared to what the answers is. And what I will do now is that I will read out loud each of these sentences, because remember I asked you earlier to practice saying these sentences on your own. So now I want you to remember how you said it previously and compare it to how we're both going to do it together. So as I'm repeating, I'm going to go a little bit slow, because I also want you to follow along and saying it out loud with me. Okay? So let's go ahead and begin. Um, Potatoes are peeled and cut into long chip shapes. Potato chips are rinsed under cold tap water and dried with a paper towel. After that, the chips are spread on a large baking tray. They are sprayed with olive oil and salt. Then potato chips are roasted for 45 minutes and cooked until the color is changed to golden brown. Some sea salt is added on top before serving. All right. Awesome job. I'm very proud of you. Let's go on to the next activity, which is going to be transforming sentences from active to passive. Again, here at USA Convo, we're going to assume that you already understand the concepts of active to passive previously. Now is the time to practice on using that knowledge. So what we have right here, we have several sentences. Okay, these sentences are active. I want you to then figure out, how do we change it to passive? And as you change it to passive, I also want you to read it out loud to yourself. So that way, as far as you have the opportunity to practice speaking it in English. Okay, so I'll give you a few seconds, and again, for many, many times, I think I forgot how many times I've told you, but if you need more time, pause the video, pause it, and that will give you time to answer it correctly. It will give you time to practice speaking it or talking it, and then we'll review. So let's go ahead and begin. All right, time is up. So let's go ahead and review the answers, which are in green. The first sentence, to avoid any confusion, the first sentence is the right one. What we have here is the second sentence is that's the way how you would we spelled it in the way to help you speak it, right? So the second sentence is not correct typing or it's not correct text. It's just help to assist you to speak it correctly. Okay, so compare the first sentence compare the first line actually of the answer, and compare it to what you had originally. And this will be a good time to reflect, to say, to maybe you will tell yourself, oh, I did everything correctly. That's great. Or maybe you were maybe you were wrong, but you were very close to being 100% right, but you were just off a little bit, or you could have just been entirely wrong. And again, so this is a time where you want to look at the answers and then ask yourself, what did I do things right? What could I have done different? What could I have done a little bit more of, right? So take a look. And what we will do now is that we're going to go ahead and read together the passive sentence out loud. All right. And as I'm reading it, I want you to follow along. So that's why I'm going to be talking a little bit slower, because I want you to follow along. And as you do, again, reflect within yourself. When I was doing it previously alone, did I say it right correctly? Or maybe I was a little bit off, or what could I have done different? Maybe you learned something new, right? So let's go and begin. For the first sentence, it's going to be the passive is first, the zucchini is cut into thin slices. All right. Now, for this one, let's go ahead and read the passive sentence out loud together. Next, a paper towel is used to dry the zucchini slices, and extra water is removed from them. All right. The next sentence is put the zucchini slices are put into a big bowl, and some olive oil, sea salt, and black pepper are added. There's a few more sentences, so let's go ahead and take a look. All right, let's review or let's say out loud the passive sentence, which is the slices are placed in a single layer in the air fryer. All right, and the last one, the passive sentence is going to be for about 8 minutes, the zucchini slices are cooked in the air fryer. All right, great job. So we are near the end of this lesson, but before we do, I know I said earlier that we don't do a lot of pop quizzes, but why not? I think it will be helpful for a review in terms of what we learned today. So what I'm going to do is as far as I'm going to read each sentence, and for each sentence, you want to answer if it's true or false. All right, so there's two sentences. Each one is different. And so just we're going to take this time. So I'm going to read it out loud. You can also follow along with me if you like. And then afterwards, ask yourself if it's true, or maybe it's false. So the first one is going to be a sentence A, that is passive voice focuses on the person who does the action, but not on the action. So answer the question, determine if the question is true or false. Right, sentence B. Form passive voice affirmative sentences, we need the verb to be and the third form of the irregular verb, id, of the regular one. So again, ask yourself if this sentence is true or false. I'll give you a few seconds. All right. Let's go ahead and review the answer. And here it is. So sentence A is false. And sentence B is true. All right. Again, I want to use this time to thank you all for joining me in this lesson. Feel free, as far as to rewind all the way back and review the video if you need to. Take all the time in the world. We also want to we also want to encourage you that you are welcome to share this video to your friends and family who also want to either learn their English, or maybe they already have some English but want to improve on it. And we definitely want to thank you, especially if you like this video, and if you share this video, but also following along or subscribing to us. All right. Thank you all very much. Again, this is Teacher George, and I wish for you to all have a wonderful time.
You can learn more about this tutor on their profile. If you are interested, contact them directly to get started. Explore more tutors and lesson samples on USA Convo. Follow USA Convo for updates. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.